Hello and welcome. Tonight we're going to be building the Lego Atari 2600 video game console, first released in 1980. This is a one-to-one comparison. It's pretty cool. I love the vintage consoles. I have the regular NES console that Lego made a couple years back. I don't have the TV out. It's neat, but it's not something I display. I just display the console, kind of like a vintage console look. So I've got the Atari here. Really hoping Lego makes maybe a Sega Genesis one of these days. That way we can kind of complete the trifecta of the consoles from the 80s and early 90s. Super Nintendo would be kind of cool too. So we're going to be doing this in two parts. Tonight's going to be part one, going to be bags 1 through 8. So we're going to get the core of the console built, a couple of the cartridges as well, and the holder for the cartridges. So it's going to be pretty cool. And then next Tuesday, we will finish it off with the exterior of the console itself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing going. You can see on the back, there's going to be a little flip up part on the console panel right here where the kid playing in his room. So the panel will slide down. He'll pop up, push him back. He slides back. So it's a nice little hidden secret, very similar to how they did the hidden secret inside the Nintendo itself. So let's go ahead and get this guy cracked open. It's got that nice classic black box look from Lego. There are 16 different numbered bags. Obviously, I don't know if there are duplicates. I'm assuming there are. There usually are. This Lego set is 2,532 pieces. It's got everything, including one thing I don't like, which is stickers. I just had a random part fall out of a box. We'll see if that comes up later. All right, so I'm only going to keep bags 1 through 8 out. So I'm going to sort out what we don't need, toss it back in so it's not in the way. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and checking out the stream. Hopefully you're going to be entertained by this just as much as I am. Oh, I see what it is. Looks like one of my bags actually ripped open. So that's probably where that piece came from. So we're going to go ahead and set that guy aside as a special do not lose. Quite a few parts that are kind of spilled out. Hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt us later as missing pieces. Lego talking about how they're going to go to paper bags for the sets in the future. I haven't seen one personally, but I have seen other people's streams that have talked about they've gotten them. All right, so it looks like all the bags that are out now are going to be the bags we're going to be working with. So let me go ahead and sort them out by their numbers. That's 9, we don't need that. All right, so 5's the bag that split, so we're putting him to the side over there. I'll just set the rest of these bags down here on the floor, and we'll access them as we need to. And of course, we've got the larger piece bag that doesn't get put into assigned numbers. Just kind of free floating pieces. So, hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Staying cool out there in these summer months. Hoses for the joystick. Same kind of hoses they had for the Nintendo controller, which is pretty cool. All right, and then this thing's got a bunch of stickers. Yay, boo, stickers. All right. right, now for those of you who don't know, I always just do a download of the instructions at lego.com. That way I save up some table space. So not as many stickers as I thought. The box made it look like a lot more, which it still is 3 sticker sheets, which, you know, it's still a lot. And for a set that costs a couple $100, you'd hope it would be more printed stuff. But the minifigure's got a printed piece, and there's a couple of Atari printed pieces, which are nice. So, instruction booklet's got that old school 1970s, early 1980s stereo instruction look to it. Very cool, very vintage. It's even got a little bit of a yellow tint, a little yellow hue to it. It's got some really cool information. I was looking at the one online. Some pretty cool information on the pages, kind of telling you a little history of the Atari, the set, the builder. Before it gets in, and you know, it's pretty cool. Like this is the Gen 2 Atari 4 Switch, came out in 1980. You know, it was very popular, and it ran. I want to say it cost the Atari came out. It cost like $180, $190, which adjusted for inflation today, that would be just about $1,000. So imagine taking $1,000 to buy a video game console that looked like this and did these basic functions. That's definitely a trip. Like, now the Atari came out, this version of the Atari came out before I was even born. I was born in 1981. I never owned an Atari, but I did play the Atari a few times at rec centers later on in my life as I got older. But I did not play it all that often. But I've always been a fan. Games that came out on it, obviously, I played some of those games on the arcade cabinets, so I am familiar with them. I'm not going to lie, I would have loved to have had an Atari when I was younger. I always thought they were super cool. I had a Nintendo when I was a kid. I got it in the late 80s, probably 87-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. So, did anybody out there have an Atari? Did anybody out there have a Nintendo? What was your first video game console? The very first video game console I ever played games on was not a Nintendo, it was not an Atari, it was actually a Commodore 64 computer. It also used cartridges to play games and a little joystick, basically the same as an Atari. And but it also had the functionality of a computer where you could also play the typing, spoken word games, where basically it tells you, or you read that you've gone into a room and it describes the surroundings, and you have to tell the game what you want to do, and then it responds to your reactions. So it's looking for keywords. Those are pretty cool. Those kind of games led to, the typical Dungeons and Dragons kind of games, getting onto video games, Diablo, Doom, all those games. Those are the grandparents of those games right there. Are the games you would find on the Commodore, the games you would find on floppy disks, the games you would find on these systems. So it's very cool that to kind of go back and to learn a little bit about the roots and history of these systems. If you are interested in learning more about these game systems, there's actually a pretty cool program on Netflix called High Score. It's kind of a little documentary about video games. I highly recommend it if you're interested. I've seen it a few times. It's part of the documentary line of like the toys that made us, and really great stuff that came out of like the 1980s, the late 70s, that led right into the generation that I'm from, the 1980s. All right, we're going to jump right in. Right now we're building a cartridge. And the first cartridge we're building is Adventurer, released in 1980. Anybody who's watched Ready Player One knows that this game contained the very first Easter egg ever ever put into a game. So if you haven't seen or read the book Ready Player One, get out there and check it out. Very, very good book. Very great book. Very good movie. It's definitely a movie that invokes a lot of nostalgia for people, especially people my age. Sorry, give me 1 second while I put the sticker on. So, did anybody out there play any of these games on the Atari? Something you owned, your parents owned, your grandparents may have owned. All right, now that'll get us our first cover piece to our very first cartridge adventure. Stickers are stressful. Sticker stress is real. All right, so we're getting there. So it's our bottom of our console cartridge. Anybody been playing any games recently? Anybody building anything? Anybody playing a game while they're listening? I'm a big fan of multitasking, so when I'm playing a game, I'm usually always listening to something or side attention going in another direction. My mom used to yell at me for that kind of stuff all the time. Like, you can only do one thing at a time, is what she said. I had the TV on and listen to no programs. Like, I can listen to a program and play a game at the same time. I'll listen to music while I'm playing games or building. I mean, technically, if you want to get technical, I'm doing 3 things at once now. I'm building this Lego set, I'm talking to you guys, and I'm got a baseball game on in the background as well. So I'm doing stuff. It's very cool the way they built that. So you've got the green inside that's going to get that cartridge where it plugs in. Very cool the way they built the cartridge for the game. Very cool the way they did it for the Nintendo as well. As you can see, like, this looks like a Nintendo cartridge. It's just thinner, but it does, will do the same thing. Like, this will plug into the console, the Atari, when it's all done. Like, this one plugs into the Nintendo, slot it in. And like with the Nintendo, you push down, it locks it in place. And close top. Yeah, this is actually very cool the way they built the cartridge, and I think it's very neat. All right, so now we got these little vignettes that also go with the game. So we'll build the first vignette that is set to go with the adventure game. It's a little yellow castle, like the castle you would, I guess, like the castle you would go into when you're in the game, or the inspiration behind the game, because you see the castle right there at the top of the cartridge vignette. I like these little extras that they're adding to the Lego sets are very nice. Powering through. All right, keep powering through. We got a lot to do tonight. Get ourselves ready so we don't want to go too long on the build tonight. He wants to hear me rambling on, I'm sure, for too long. And it won't come up until we do it later, but I do appreciate the Johnny Thunder sticker that will go in the little boy's room. When we do that, that's a nice little fun Easter egg for anybody who knows Lego. Anybody who's not sure, Johnny Thunder was basically Lego Indiana Jones before we had Lego Indiana Jones. Did all sorts of different adventure sets. My favorite for the Johnny Thunder adventure line was the Egypt line, but they also did like South America, and I think they did Asia. I think they might have done Asia. Let me know in the comments if they did. Let me know what was the third one they did for the adventure line. I know it was South America for one for sure. And then Egypt was the other. But what's the one I can't quite place? I know somebody's sitting there going, it's this. Whenever I'm watching a person stream and they're like, I don't know the answer. I'm like, I always feel like I always know the answer, but when I'm on my stream, I'm like, what's the answer again? So we're got the foundation of that castle coming along quite nicely. Got a little hedgerow of trees, or I guess it would be hedges. So. Hedgerow of hedges. Neat little fountain design they've got going inside the castle. Giant man hands. Has anybody out there heard anything about the Lego Insiders program? Essentially, it sounds like it's taking over for VIP. Haven't heard very much about it. I actually just saw information about it, but it's sad. I was there the day they launched the VIP program in 2009. 2009. Yeah, 2009. I was working for Lego, and I got to pick my VIP number. So hopefully, the numbers all stay the same, and it sounds like the way you buy and spend points will be staying the same. But I saw something new about QR code on the instruction booklets about being able to scan those for some points. So that's pretty cool. For those of you just joining, so far we have got the Avenger game cartridge built. And we are building the small vignette castle that goes with Avenger. Each one of the cartridges will have a small vignette that will go along with it. That'll be a decoration part that goes along with the castle itself. All right, so far so good. Now looks like we're gonna be building the corners of each of the castles. So we got 4 of these to build. So fun. So if you're joining us late, thank you for joining us. If you're wanting to, start back at the beginning, obviously you can start back and you'll just watch the stream as it comes. But thank you so much for checking out my stream tonight. I always appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to share it with me, check out my builds, and just, have a conversation or listen to some guy ramble as he builds Lego. But I'm always excited to have nice conversations with people, so I always appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come and join me. All right, so far that's our castle. Very classic, basic Lego castle build. Very classic back in the day. Looks like we got a little dragon we're going to be building here. Everybody's having a good day. All right, and we got the dragon outside the castle. Fire-breathing dragon. All right, so far so good. All right, we're about to jump into bag 2. Bag 2 is going to be the cartridge display stand. So back in the day, we used to have these special stands for all our video game cartridges or 8-tracks or cassette tapes, CDs, things of that nature. Luckily, things that we hopefully don't have to spend money on anymore. I remember back in the day, it was like you had to spend all this money on just furniture to hold your stuff that you spent your money on. It's like, guys, I spend more money on things to hold my things I spend money on. So glad we're getting more away from that. So anyway, but I am excited to see how this holder comes together when it's all done. Yeah. Going too fast for my own good. Pay attention. There we go. So I always keep the handy dandy brick separator around because it's always needed. Starving. Well, hopefully you enjoy your dinner, Elena. What you having? All right. Pastrami sandwich. I love a good sandwich. It's the best kind of sandwich out there. What's the best place to go get a sandwich? What do you got? Any thoughts? I don't get homemade sandwiches good, but beats fresh sandwiches from the deli. Just something special about them. I'm interested to see how this cabinet's coming together. I always love the Lego complex sets, like the adult line or the idea sets. Once again, also, help teach me ways of building that I had never built before or never really had thought about building that way before. Like with the way they do the little hidden Easter eggs and the functionality. Like when I was building I built the power block for Mario. That was very cool because of the way the functionality all worked. with the way that it basically can move down into a smaller power block, and then when you open it, it basically can spring up all the different worlds from Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario World. That kind of stuff is really cool. So I'm always interested to see how they come up with that kind of stuff. Help inspire the way I build or the way other people build, hopefully in the future, because as a inspiration for those things, it starts today, trigger something in somebody, and then we get something brand new and completely amazing. Example, that's why we have the video games that we have today that a lot of us enjoy, because somebody had a video game system, and an Atari or a Commodore or just a basic computer, Apple II. Somebody had those things, and they wanted to make a game, bring it to life. Sure, the money had nothing to do with it, although money is nice. It's kind of required for a lot of things, which is unfortunate. They're really cool documentaries. Elena, I mean, she wants to watch those documentaries again, like I was talking about earlier, the High Score and the Toys That Made Us and things of that nature. It's actually really well built cabinet. Actually pretty impressed with the actual engineering in it. I'll go over that here in a minute. They actually use Technic rods and pins, or Technic pins, not rods, but Technic pin. They actually use Technic pins to help reinforce the set. It's like it's an actual little wood cabinet. The games will get slotted in. Actually, building this does remind me of the old, the gigantic, furniture pieces. How we, a lot of us when we were kids, the television or the stereo system, hi-fi, all that stuff was gigantic pieces of furniture made out of wood or had a wood framing. They were these giant boxes that, were the furniture in the house. So this is what we got so far for our cabinet. As you can see, the games will just slot in. So that way you can store all your games right next to your Atari console. Easier access. All right. So here we are arriving at bag 3. Now this will be the first bag actually being used to build the Atari console itself. Get these bags open. Sorry about the noise. Sorry about that. Sorry. our large pieces. So I'm just going to pull those out really quick, sort them up. For those of you who follow, I don't usually sort, but these larger pieces, they just kind of get in the way, and they're so easy to sort so quickly. They're big, and there's not a lot of them. Small pieces, they just feel too damn tedious to sort it constantly. All right. Okay. So let's get into it. Then let's get into the main body of the Atari. And if you're just joining us, we're building the Lego Atari 2600 video game console, or video game computer system, as it was titled back in the day, which our definition of a computer system and their definition of a computer system are both different at this point. All right, so it's going to go quick for the base because it looks like it's probably got a lot of big plate. A lot of big plates that are going to, kind of be building, making the set base. So that'll come together pretty fast. The set's about 8.5 inches deep. I think it's about 13 inches wide, 14 inches wide, something like that. 13 inches wide, so 8.5 by 13. So not super big, but not super small. Of course, when you think about things like the video game consoles of today, like PlayStation 5 or Xbox, like they are not small by any definition of the word. I think the first time I saw the PlayStation 5, I was like, holy crap. Couldn't believe how big it was compared to the other ones. But I mean, everything's going to get bigger. They have to get bigger. So the kind of stuff they're doing, all the work they're doing. All right, so we're doubling up. These looks like they're probably going to be the sides of our console, and these are going to require a whole bunch of these 1x2 cheese slopes going down the side. So we're just going to be plugging those away for just a moment. Oh, for anybody interested, the Red Sox game is in the top of the 8th. Red Sox lead the Nationals 5-4. They're playing in the Capitol. Ooh. Anybody excited for September 1st? We're halfway there. Whole bunch of new sets coming out on the 1st. Whole mess of sets. All right. RCB. It's going to be our base. Whole mess of sets coming out on the 1st. I'm very excited for quite a few of them. And of course, we've got Ahsoka, TV show Ahsoka, starting on the 23rd. First 2 episodes, back to back, boom, boom, drop. That's going to be super exciting. Looking at the Nothing, no spoilers. I was looking at episode runtime. Nothing special about that. And they're doing what they do. First couple episodes are long, and then it's like the third episode is like first episode's long, and the second episode shorter, and the third episode shorter. It's like they're doing that progressive step down, and I don't like that they every episode's a different time. It's like give us a consistency. And then of course they've got, each one's probably got like 5 minutes of credits. So does that drive anybody else nuts? Or is it just me? You sit down for a show, you're not sure if you're going to get 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. It's like, it's kind of hard to plan sometimes. Almost forgot a couple pieces. It would make this very difficult if I did. Slipped a couple of dark gray pieces in there with all the black plates. Didn't notice them. Then I noticed that the base of the set was a little wobbly in one spot. So. Usually a dead giveaway that you've made a mistake. Love the nice, love the authenticity of a set. Hate building black Lego sets because it's the fingerprints, they get everywhere. It's like when I built the Batwing, it's just basically all black. I built that after I built the Batmobile, and now I basically had to wear gloves on the entire outer side of the build because I didn't want to deal with all the fingerprints and trying to clean them all off. Anybody else ever done that? Wearing gloves when they built a set because they didn't want to clean the set afterwards. Yeah, it's like, how can you? Yeah, well, Lance, agrees. I mean, how can you really plan your viewing experience if you're never quite sure how long an episode's going to be? If you're anything like myself and my wife, sometimes we have to catch an episode at the end of the night, and we'll watch it, before we go to bed. It's like, all right, tonight we'll watch our show, and it comes on, and then we'll go to bed or whatnot. And the show's like, I'm like, okay. And we find out the show's like an hour long or an hour, 45 minutes long. Like, these are usually 30 minutes. So it can be a little frustrating trying to plan a day or plan an evening. Not, having to go and check the length of a program. I understand if you're going to the movies or things like that, the movie times are always different. I built everything one off, damn it. Man, mind is all over the place tonight. I have made more mistakes than I normally do. fixable. They're all easy, but it's just frustrating. I usually don't make mistakes like this. There we go. Sorry about that. Got that all fixed. All right, building up the sidewalls. Warm. Keep the fan up one more notch. All right. 2 more of these. Another large quantity of those 1x2 cheese slopes. All right. If you're having a good time, remember to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you got any questions or you're unsure about something, or if you just want to have a chat. Love having a chat with the fans, Lego fans, streaming fans, ceiling fans. All right, tearing right through. So that's where we're at so far with our console base. Now we are moving on to bag 4. Puts us at about the halfway point of our stream tonight. Remember to like and subscribe to the videos. And check me out over on Instagram at DarthBricks42. Last week I did a quick room tour, just a quick little walk around, four-part video. So if you want to check it out, you can see my Lego collection, Hot Toys collection, Star Wars collection, all sorts of stuff going around my collectibles room. Can't even really call it a Lego room exclusively anymore because we got so many things in here that are and aren't Lego. So I'm kind of over the map. But hey, quite a collector that I watch on YouTube, Ryan with Jet Patrol. Collect what you like. So just follow on his advice. I'll try and pay a little more closer attention and not make so many mistakes on this bag like I did on the last one. Getting pieces in the wrong spot or forgetting to put pieces on. So this one, it'll be my goal not to make those mistakes. Damn, off by one. So close. So close. Easy fix. I saw the one about the documentary and the one about the times about the shows being all over the place. Yeah, I saw them, and it's frustrating. I wish they would just kind of nail it down. Just saying, okay, our episodes are going to be this long. Let's see. Romantic comedy. I don't know. I mean, all depends on your definition of romantic comedy, I guess. If it was me picking a movie to watch while I built this, I'd watch Ready Player One. It's got some comedy. It's got some action. It's got some romance. It's got Batman. Hmm. Sleepless in Seattle or 51st Dates? I mean, Sleepless in Seattle. Great one. I don't know. You Got Mail. It's a classic one I know you like. Let's see. All right. Got a little wider. The profile. Came together quite nicely. Hopefully you were able to settle on a film. Go with not another teen movie. It's pretty freaking funny. It's got some romance in it. It's got some romance in it, but more importantly, it's got Chris Evans in it. Everybody likes Chris Evans. Yeah, not another teen movie, huh? Winner, winner. Love a good comedy spoof. So this week, obviously, we're building the part one of the Atari. Next week will be part one, or pardon, for next week will be part two of the Atari. Get my brain working. Next week should be part two of the Atari, followed by, I think we're gonna try and do the Mighty Bowser, couple of parts. So part one, part two of the Mighty Bowser, and then we'll be in September by then, and we'll have a next wave of Star Wars and Disney sets come out. Definitely want to get the camera, the tribute to Walt camera, and love to do the build on that one. If you haven't seen the tribute to Walt camera yet, it looks fantastic. I definitely think you should check it out at lego.com. Definitely looking forward to the Ahsoka sets as well. So far, I haven't seen anything that's really spoiled anything. Usually that's a big concern with the toy brands. Them getting in there and kind of spoiling it with some early release information. But I don't think we've been spoiled with anything. Everything that's been announced, or everything that I've seen, I think it's stuff we've already known. Lego fans are very nosy with our product. We like to know what's going on. We like to know what's coming. Star Wars fans are very, very interested in what's going on as well. I mean, yeah, I can see how they would recommend Sense and Sensibility if you put it on their teen movie. They're both movies with people and actors. You know, all the basic elements. All right, so here's bag 5. Now, for those of you who were here at the beginning of the stream, bag 5 broke open in the box and had a few pieces spill out. I don't think any of them are missing. Hopefully not. If any of them are, obviously I will try and replace them from my collection if I have them. With that said, I might have to get up and go look for something. And so, if that's the case, you know, hey, Red Sox won. So, yay Boston. Another win for the team. Let's see, are there any other games I can put on in the background? Anybody suggest any baseball games to watch? Let's see who's on the bump tonight. Yeah, the Yankees are losing. I can always watch that. How about San Francisco and Tampa Bay? Little Gigantes action. Right. right, let's jump right in. Bag 5. Bag 5, here we go. I've been rewatching or watching a lot of stuff on Peacock streaming platform lately, and I forgot. You forget just how many good shows Peacock had, how many shows NBC had. Should almost be done with. I should be done with 30 Rock in the next few days. Anybody see Twisted Metal? I was pretty happy with it. I thought it was fun. I'm not gonna overanalyze anything. I just thought it was fun. Definitely, in the world of what we live in today, everything's always about the sequels and setting stuff up. So if you haven't seen it, duh. But it was a lot of fun. Take a video game and try to adapt a story. It was a lot of fun, and it was interesting. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out. It's on Peacock. All the episodes are there. You don't have to wait for any. There's 10 episodes, and they're all about the same amount of time. They all run about an hour. I don't know. I think they do. I'm just being sarcastic right now. I'm not sure what part of the console I'm building right in this moment. But so far it's intriguing. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. It's very colorful too with the teal. They're definitely breaking up the Lego monotony of the set by throwing some extra color in. Those of you who don't know, Lego does that a lot. Like when you get a set and you're like, why is there these random colors in here? And it's mostly because, some people think it's because Lego has leftover pieces. I like to think it's because Lego wants to break up the color monotony, so it's not like always the same color. Because, building all black, all blue, all gray, all whatever can be very boring. What if it has anything to do with the power? You have to look for the power supply or anything. A lot of big pieces in this set. Those of you playing the home game of looking at the size of the pieces. A lot of large pieces. But I'll say I do like a larger, well, I wouldn't say it's large. This is a nice moderate size build. Nowadays, we get some pretty large builds nowadays. But it's nice to have a nice medium size. A lot of the sets I've been building lately felt like they were, outside of the UCS X-Wing last week. Like I did a lot of small sets, like the helmets were really small, and so forth. So it's nice to have some larger pieces for once. Little break. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Kind of want to look up the specs, look inside the look inside the actual Atari. That's one kind of thing that's cool. When you're building, you can, if you've ever seen inside of the video game console, I've seen inside of a Nintendo, I've seen inside of a Sega, I've seen inside a lot of those, consoles. And so when you're building it, you're kind of curious about how Lego was using empty space and just how much of that space was actually empty from the original build and how much of that was, the actual design. Because they, sometimes those boxes, they had a lot of empty dead space inside because the technology around it was just, sometimes it had to be massive or sometimes it was massive, so they had large vacant spots. Hi, Sadie. Welcome. Thanks for joining. No need to apologize. Glad you can make it. But yeah, if you look inside some of these some of those older technologies, there's just vacant space everywhere. And then you open up the stuff we have today, and it's all super tight, super compacted. So very, very different contrast to back then to now. It does feel like it loses a bit of the aesthetic look when it's all crammed into a shroud, a heat sink, shell, whatever it is. Sometimes it feels like it takes away a little bit of the fun. Cool. If you're just joining us tonight, we're building the Atari 2600. This is the 4-switch version, the Gen 2. So for those of you, it was released in 1980. And we built the adventure console, the holder for the cartridges, and then the castle vignette for adventure. It's fine. Just don't let it happen again. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Live your life, Sadie. Sadie, how you doing? How was your week? What's made it so rough? Now, for those of you curious, the reason that there's a lot of vacant space inside this, the box here is because there's a slide mechanism to make the pop-up of the little boy's bedroom. That's why we're seeing a lot of space utilized in that way. Or did I forget to put a piece? Oops. Man, I am on the struggle bus today. Making a lot of mistakes. Ricocheting pieces back. Sorry about that, everyone. But hey, that's why I'm building out of Lego and I'm not building an actual glued together model. I haven't done those in years. I can only imagine how bad I would be at night now. Work is work. Just keep surviving. When do you start school? Moving on to bag 6. Yes, Braden, do you have Thor's hammer? Are you worthy? 21st, just next week. But hey, it's your senior year, so. One more, then you get to go to college. Oh, I'm sorry. Braden, you're asking. Yes, I have Thor's hammer. I do have Lego Thor's hammer. This is like the third time I've had a version of Thor's hammer. I've had the Hasbro and the collectible versions over the years. Apologies. Thank you, Elena, for helping. I'm getting more towards bro Thor status myself, but still worthy, just like bro Thor was. There are other versions, but not from Lego. Like Hasbro's done some. They've did some when the Ragnarok movie came out, and I think it's part of the I think it's called it's similar to their Black Series. Okay. Cats are playing outside my door. Lego has not done an official Stormbreaker version, no, and I don't think they might. Might be too big. I mean, never say never. I mean, look, they just released Cap's Shield on the 1st, so never say never. But a Lego version of Stormbreaker would be pretty cool. It's just, if you've ever seen, like, this is supposed to be this is almost a 1-to-1 scale. It's not perfect. It's definitely off a little bit. But if you've ever seen Stormbreaker, I think it's gigantic. So they definitely would have to do a miniaturized version of it. But I think that would be cool. Maybe a smaller version of Stormbreaker would be cool. A really big version would be neat as well. But I also like the Wolverine claw that they just released. Looks pretty neat. I saw a guy on, he was on Instagram. He actually made the Wolverine claws that you can, hold, kind of like and it would slot between your fingers. They look pretty good. But they also have a display where they can have the 3 blades going across one another. I thought it was really cool. I took a screenshot of it. If I ever get around to trying to make it, I might try and make one. Wahaha. So many super talented fans out there are really good at creating Lego sets or their own versions of the Lego set. How much is which item? Stormbreaker. I don't know. They've never. I don't know how much the Stormbreaker, like the toy style one, is. Probably at least, I'd say, starting around $100 or more. You can get that's what it is, Legends. You can get a Marvel Legends electronic Stormbreaker Thor's Axe on Amazon for about $200. And you can get the little cheapo toy ones. I can't tell you how big they are, for about 30 and 35, but their quality is questionable. But yeah, the Hasbro Marvel Legends one's about $200 for Stormbreaker. Any other props that you guys are looking for? Any other Marvel pieces you're looking for that you're hoping Lego will make? I was just asking if you're looking for any other like Marvel toys or props, like Iron Man's helmet or Cap shield, or like you said, like you were looking for Stormbreaker, or you were curious about how much Stormbreaker would be. The Lego Cap shield is $200. Ask yourself, if you had a daughter, would you give her boyfriend a discount? At least we're seeing eye to eye. Got to remember, discounts are earned, not given. You must have just gotten to the whipped cream bikini scene. All right, tag 7 coming up. Sorry about the noise. Man, people in the ballpark are eating this gigantic pizza. Looks so good. Ugh, now I want pizza. Pizza. The detention scene is classic. I'm confiscating this. This too. Oh, that's a different movie. Just but a flesh wound. Somebody watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail? And the movie I was just quoting wrongly, thinking it was a different movie, is another great rom-com. 10 Things I Hate About You. Absolutely legendary performance by Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Julia Stiles, and the other people in the movie know who they are too. Breakfast Club? No. Didn't mean Breakfast Club. It's a good movie. You mean Breakfast Club sandwich? And no, Sadie's quote, I believe, is from Monty Python. Oh, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the actual movie that the spoof was from. I was thinking of the I'm confiscating this and this too. I was thinking about that from 10 Things I Hate About You. The moral lesson of the Breakfast Club is to remember that they still tricked the nerdy kid into doing their work for them because he wrote the essay. But yes, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. No, it's the teacher and not another. And 10 Things I Hate About You. He's grilling one of the kids, and he's like, "You've got pot, don't you?" The kid's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm confiscating this." And as he walks by, he picks up the bag of chips from one of the kids that has it on his desk, and he goes, "This too." Because, everybody just believes their teachers are getting, anytime they confiscate their stash or confiscate anything from at school, it was just because the teacher wanted it. High school kids, I should say. Very nice style, very sleek. As you can see, we're definitely making progress on building a box. Anybody else watching any funny movies? Logan? What you crying for? What? What you crying about? Hmm? Alright. Oh, I just completely messed that up. I just completely spaced the part where it told me to build the side piece twice. So I'll build the other side piece really quick. Off night. All right, bag 8. Just peeked ahead when I was going. Bag 8 is going to be our next build. And it will contain the cartridge for Centipede. Which kind of interesting because Centipede was released in 1982. It's like the first one we built was as Adventure, which was released in 1980, and then the third one is the Centipede was 82, Asteroids is 81, and then Adventure was 80. Interesting how we're doing. Feels like we're kind of doing them out of order. All right, so that's the bed of our Atari system so far. So these will be the connections like player 1, player 2, joysticks. Oh, I'm sorry, we are building Asteroid second, so we are going in order. I guess I just wasn't paying very close attention and I just assumed what I saw. So now we're going to build Asteroids, released in 1981. So me and Asteroids are the same age. All right, so let's get that first, that extra cartridge built. So we got our next sticker sheet to work with. You know, with Lego doing a lot of the video games and consoles and doing diving more and more into pop culture. Now, Lego did a movie theater, the Palace Cinema, some years back for their module line. I think it would be awesome to see like a large arcade, like a Flynn's arcade from Tron. We've also, we've seen a Tron Lego set as well. So it might be kind of cool. So here we go. Got our Asteroids cartridge getting ready to go. But yeah, a module set of a arcade would be kind of neat. I personally would definitely want that set. I want to pick up an arcade. I think it'd be fun. What do you think? Logan's doing good. Let's see. Favorite shark? Jaws. I don't know. Saw the Meg 2 last weekend. That was pretty funny. If you want to watch a movie about irresponsible people getting eaten by sharks or other prehistoric creatures, then definitely cool. If you're somebody who is realist and doesn't like movies that you need a strong sense of disbelief, suspension of disbelief, then maybe not for you. Great whites are cool. Tiger sharks are vicious. All right. Asteroids cartridge. So it'll slot in here, just like the others. And now we're going to build the vignette for Asteroid, which took a peek at it. It looks like a little rocket spaceship flying around and blowing up asteroids. Surprise, surprise. I like asteroids as a kid. It's fun. Space Invaders is a lot of fun too. I was kind of hoping they would do a. Well, I was kind of hoping one of the cartridges would be Space Invaders. It's such a classic set, but if they're picking sets from individual years from the release, because Adventure and Space Invaders both were released in 1980. So if they were going to pick one over the other, I'm glad they did pick Adventure over Space Invaders. Because I think Adventure has a little bit more of a deeper history, a little more deeper lore. You know, pre-runner to things like Zelda and Link. You know, that game is really what made those games possible. And of course, like I said earlier, the first Easter egg in a video game is pretty cool. Reading Sadie's chat about the shark Poseidon hammerhead that she's tracking. Where are you learning about sharks, Sadie? Are you is this something on TV? Is a class you are taking or gonna take? Ooh, that looks scary. Guys went flying into the netting or stands in San Francisco. Looks okay though. Back to tiny pieces. Nailed it. Careful. How do you think up this stuff? All right, we got an asteroid and what I'm guessing is an explosion. Definitely. Have you ever seen the flying sharks down in South Africa? I don't think they're spinners. They so what they do is it's like to give them the jump. What they'll do is they'll drag like a cutout of a seal on the top of the water, so it looks like a seal swimming. So the sharks will be below, and what they'll do is then they start swimming up at like full speed, and they hit the seal, and then go completely airborne out of the water. It's absolutely amazing if you've ever seen it, a video of it. If you haven't, definitely look it up. You would, if you're a shark fan, you would absolutely be impressed. I don't know if that's the type of shark they are. It could be. We could be talking about the same thing. All right, we're Almost done with our spaceship. That's actually kind of cool way. So once I get all three of them on here, I'll show. But they use a clear translucent rod to show the laser effect. But then they spread out the translucent orange so it looks like it's like firing pulses of a laser beam. So that is pretty freaking cool. There. So you got your spaceship blowing up an asteroid around the other asteroids. Right. Good stuff. All right. So recap. We built our frame for our Atari 2600. So this all section is open here because there will be a part that you can slide the top panel down and it'll pop up a little hidden scene that hides inside the Atari of a little boy playing the Atari in his bedroom. Very similar to how the Nintendo has the hidden scene on the side with the hidden warp of level 1-2 from Nintendo. We've also got the Asteroids vignette, which looks very cool. Actually, firm it there. We've got the Adventure vignette, which is the castle and the dragon out front. We've got the console cartridge, Adventure and Asteroids. And then we've got the holder for our cartridges. As you can see, they just slot right in here when you're not using them. So next week, we're going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the top of the Atari, and we'll build the joystick and the last game, Centipede. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm looking forward to finishing this build with you guys. And remember to like, subscribe. Check me out over on Instagram at DarthBricks42. And I always appreciate you guys spending time with me. Leave a comment. If you're having a good time, leave a comment if you got questions or if you want to see something. I'm also open to any other forms of constructive conversation. Everybody have yourself a great night. I'll see you guys next week. And thank you so much for joining me. And remember, just be safe, have fun, and build what you like out there. Have a good one. Bye.